Hello, this video is going to discuss custom list views. Simpli list views automatically handles core list views, and we're obviously able to do a bunch of capabilities with regards to the core list views. Custom list views are those where you're not able to create the query that you need. There might be some child records that you need to allow people to view and maybe act upon. And so this is going to be specifically for those needs. In order to be able to start this, what we first need to do is get the query that we are going to be working with. In this particular example, we have account data, and we want to show the contacts data along with the account data. There's a few things to notice here with this query. One is that we have child records, as already mentioned. The other thing is we have the account fields displayed above. They're basically header fields. And then inside of contacts, we also have the contact fields as well. And then inside that, you can notice that we have created by .profile.name, created by .name. These typically wouldn't get used, but this is just to show that we can go many levels deep within our custom query. This particular feature is available in the core list views as well. So we're really showing 4 or 5 levels deep here, which is about as far as Salesforce can go from a SOQL query perspective. I believe we can only go 2 levels deep from account to contacts. We can't go inside of contacts to go deeper than that. And we also can go, I think, 5 levels deep with regards to lookups to other tables. So that's the query. And then the other piece of the puzzle is the column data. You'll see here, it is in JSON format, and there are 3 specific pieces of data that we need. We need the field name or path, and the path, that field name or path comes directly from the API name of the field. The other is type. Typically this is string, decimal, date, time. And then we have label. And the label, that's quite specific to the needs, and so we typically would need that, maybe be able to find that label information, but this allows each field to be specifically named. Otherwise, account name and contact name might be labeled as the same, which wouldn't make any sense. One specific thing to note here is that the field name or path, inside of the children, we have the field name or path being the name of the child relationship. So in this particular case, the name of the child relationship is called contacts. And so you can see here that before we actually have the name, the field name or path of the field, we have contacts dot in front of it. So you can see here contacts dot created by .profile.name, for instance. So that's the JSON column data, query data. What we now need to do is go into the Simpli list view configuration. We click on list views, and then we would select to create a new list view. And what we would do here is create a custom list view, and we would just go ahead and enter the data in as we have it below. So we can start off by just putting this data in. SOQL query would go right over here, list view query, and then the column data in JSON format would go into the list view columns. Note that the JSON needs to be valid. If it's not valid, Simpli list views, I believe right now, will just kind of throw up and do all sorts of errors. So do make sure that is accurate. Then the only other pieces of information that we need to provide are the label. So let's call this interesting account query. And then the object name is important because this is the bucket that the custom list view is going to fit into. Now the object name doesn't have to be an API name of an object. It can be anything you want, and the bucket will automatically be created inside of the object names. So for object name, typically you would give this the object name of account. But what we can do, let's just give it an account, and then we can make sure that we see it in the account bucket. And then one very important thing here is a custom Apex this class. For all custom list views, this is going to be the same. It's going to be list view, custom manual. Always the same. List view, custom manual. Then all those other fields, we don't need details, don't have to worry about those. Those are going to be populated automatically. We click save, cross your fingers, everything works, everything gets created. Okay, so that's good. We can see the primary key gets created. We've got its list view ID, API name, etc., etc. We've got all of our details in here. So now what we should be able to do is go to the everything page, whatever page we have for accounts, and we should be able to refresh the page and see the results. Oh, I have a list view already pinned, so we're going to let this list view open. So now if we go to the accounts list views, we should see interesting account query. So there it is there, and it's put it inside of the account bucket. So if we click on interesting account query, and everything now comes up, you can see the data gets displayed, and you can see here all of the fields that we have asked to be displayed are being displayed. You'll notice here that there are gaps here. This is a child field, so in this particular case, United Oil and Gas Singapore have two contacts, Liz De Cruz and Tom Ripley. And so we don't display the header data in the rows where there's a child and there's more than one child. Okay. You can see here United Oil and Gas example. Here's another one where we have 4 or 5 children. And so all the information is there. So with regards to the capabilities, when you're actually viewing a custom list view, you will be able to change the sorting of the header, but not of the children. So you can see here the contact name. If I click on it, nothing happens to any of these because they are part of the child, but any of these header fields will work. So if I click on account name, it's going to go ahead and change all of the data to be more specific, to the account name sorting system. So that's good. Another thing is the inline editing. Inline editing does work for custom list views, but it only works for the header fields again. So if I double click on this line, because I want to change the number of employees, for instance, it is going to only work for the header data, so for account name, any of the account information in this particular example. So that's it for right now. One other thing that you'll notice is that there's no actions. Actions do not work for custom list views, so there definitely is detriment to having a custom list view. There are definitely certain things that work and don't work. But actions are another thing where right now, especially, or in any case, we haven't gotten actions to work yet with custom list views. Another thing which doesn't work is if we go into the list view administration, the total columns, it allows you to set the total columns, but they don't actually get displayed. So if you select them or if you create a total column, it's not actually going to work because we haven't decided yet exactly how that would work with children records. But that's it for custom list views for right now. Hopefully that allows more flexibility with regards to list views and people need to display information. You'll still notice that everything else around the list view works. All the hover details work, all the just everything else, all the photo and email, you can click on them and they work as appropriate. So all that is good to go. So if you've got any questions, any concerns, any ideas, please reach out to me. Otherwise,